it's the responsibility of everyone. And Mamta, today you can basically cover whatever we did in the previous session in brief. I know it was a long session, but we can cover it in maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes, right? And you can take the doubts. So from
Yeah, sure.
Saturday, we'll proceed ahead. Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I think I'll just work on, or probably they probably might. Let's see if they join. It is fine. Else you can take it with Kalpana. Bharat. Okay. Thanks again. I'll
Okay, let's wait for Pranav and remaining people.
Meanwhile, I have some questions. So can we discuss on that?
Yeah.
So actually, I just what is data card? If someone asks me,
Okay. Data card is like an when we have a form, data card will be there, right? In the form, we have an I'll share my screen. I'll show you what is data card. Yes. Yeah, in the form screen, if you go, this one we have discussed when we are explaining about form control and screen control. Yeah. So in each form, like if we go here, see this is a data card. If you hover on this one, title data card 2. See, each one is a
yeah.
data card, each field, and in that field, whatever the controls which are required for this data card will be there. So the important parameters I have told you, right? Required, we will use most of the time. And update. Update means what is the value which we are going to update into that field. Okay. And one more thing, display name and everything will come. And one more thing, default value. What is the default value which is going to come in this field? If you go into each column, here we will refer to as parent or default. If you see here, that means whatever the value which we are giving default for this one, that value will come into this field. Okay. So data card is nothing but an one like a container where whatever the controls which are required for that specific field will be stored in data card. So data cards will be present in two scenarios. One is for form. Okay. Like whenever we add any column automatically, like if I want to add another column like attachments, I'm going to add it. Okay. See,
Okay, understand.
automatically.
No.
Uh, 1 minute, I'm getting this. Sorry. Attachments, I'll add. So if you see here, see for attachment, one more data card is created automatically. Yeah. And one another scenario, we will get an attachment, sorry, data card is another scenario that is scrollable screen. If you go to scrollable screen, see here canvas automatically is there, right? In that canvas, see here is a data card. So in this data card, whatever the controls which we want to again add customizedly, what we like for the form, automatically it will give what are the fields which are controls which are required for the that specific field, it will automatically give, right? Whereas for scrollable canvas app, what the like it is customization, it will give for us only the freedom it will give. So whatever the fields which we want to design anything, any controls which we want to add, we can add it. And even if you want to, here add a section is there, right? If I click on that, another data card will go into add it. Okay. In these only two scenarios, we'll get that data card. So in interview questions, you can say that for the form and scrollable screen and the properties which are like for the data card will be, you can say like default property, what is the default one, and required. These are like some main fields. Mostly they'll ask about update. What is the update one? Okay. These three are the important. Remaining, yeah, you can anyway answer it. But these are the like different important ones. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Now let's discuss on like what we have, what are the formulas which we have written on last session. Everything I'll give an overview. Even if you get any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. So like last time we have designed up to what like these everything we have designed, right? And if I go to here and if I click on this one,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah, Mamta, is this the part which was like covered in the last class? Or
Last class covered. Like whatever in the last session which we have discussed, everything is going to be discussed in this session, which is like a
okay,
not exactly in a brief way. But I'll try to simplify whatever we have done, but not in a, by doing all add the content, everything, not controls. But I'll explain it. If you get any doubts,
oh,
you can ask me. Okay.
okay,
Because
okay.
yeah. So last time we have done to get the we need to get all the controls in that comments which are associated related to this specific issue, right? For that one, what we have done is, if you go to, we have taken a gallery control, and in that control we have added HTML text, right? So why we have taken HTML text, not like a simple label text? Because if you take a normal text here, like normal text field, okay, I'll try to bring that to upwards. So even if I want to add anything, any text here, I can change. If I want to change any color, it will change for entire text, right? See, it's going to be changed for entire text. But if I want to mention some words are like some color and some words are like some other color, if I want to include, I can't do that with normal text color. Even HTML code also won't support this in this text color, text control. Whereas if I go to if I taken the HTML control, see, without adding any another control, I can directly whatever the text which I have written here, can write it. And what is a specific word or specific line of text which I want to change it to some color, I want to make a bold anything, by using these HTML code, we can modify according to our requirements. See, for example, in this scenario, whatever the user who have commented, that person name I want to highlight it to in a red color with bold, right? So what I have done, I have taken here, I have went here, I have taken like whatever the name which is like in this one, which I have, like I have made font color as red, and I have made bold that font. Okay. And to append the two strings, we need to append it with and operator. For example, here whatever the text I want to add, I want to append it with some like this item dot mm, created by person is there, right? That person email I want to display. I will increase the height width of this one. See, See, these two texts are appended now. So, and operator, by keeping and operator, we can append it. Like this is the one way. This is not only, there are two ways we can append it. So, one is this one, right? There is another thing which we have, concatenate also function. So, even that also we can use it. See, But mostly the simplest way is by keeping and operator, like not this function. Mostly you can, like anyway, both will result in same result. You can use and operator. Okay. And so this is how, like even for if the text control, if I want to highlight any specific, we can't do that. Whereas for HTML, we can do it, like whatever the by even like URL, if you want to see, if I want to achieve it with same text control, I need to take two separate controls for, like what is the name I want to take display, that is for one control I need to take, and another text to display another control we need to add, like two, instead of taking two or three controls, we can achieve it by using only single control, that is HTML. Okay. And last time, like another thing is we have taken, if you have observed here, this one I have taken as an like flexible height gallery. Like there are so many type of galleries, right? If you have seen here, one is like an blank flexible height gallery, and normal are like normal galleries. What is the difference between these two means, if you see here, and last time we have written few formulas, I will explain them as well. First let me remove this one. If you go here and for this container, enter, like we have taken all the, we have added this in container, and for this container height I have calculated as this container plus this container height equal to this container height. Means that is like if the text of this control is more, then container height should also should increase. So for that one, what I have done, whatever the HTML comment code is, comment control is there, right? That one, because user may enter one line of comment, or else he may enter 4 5 line of comment, right? Everything, like whole comment it should display. So for that one, here I have taken enabled auto height property. So that means according to the enter text, it will increase the height. So based on that, automatically container each like gallery each row is there, right? Automatically that one also should increase. For that one, if we take a flexible height gallery, say I will add more line of code here. Let's take one paragraph. Okay, I will add this one. See, according to this one, it is automatically it's showing every what is the, like full comment which we have added. It's displaying. If you observe here, each row height is different. For this one, the height is only this much. But if you see, this one is increased according to that one. If we haven't taken a flexible height gallery, I will show you what is that one. Like I'll go to another screen. Okay, screen I'll go and I'll take a normal gallery. I will take blank gallery. I'll take. Okay. Same comments I will add here. Okay. So here I will take it as, instead of that one comments I'll take. Okay. And what I'll do is same, whatever the auto height property which I have enabled, I have enabled it. Okay. If you see here, see, is it increasing automatically? No, right? How clumsy it's displaying? It's not displaying correctly. So same thing, uh, like you may think that whatever the height of this container is there, that one we can give it to template height is, right? Template size. So I if you want, I can give that one as well. Okay. And title I'll make it as 0. Instead of this one, I'll make it to 0. In that scenario, it should work, but it won't. Still, see, that is because we haven't taken like an flexible height gallery. If you have taken a flexible height gallery based on the column content, each column it will vary according to our scenario. Okay, according to the control height. Got it? And one more thing is like error handling in our canvas application. That is, we need to take like an if error function is there, right? That is to and do the error handling. Like an one more like there are few ways which we can do, right? uh, that is like an in the form property we can add an like on success, if you want, what is the error we want to display, on error on failure, what we need to do, everything we can achieve it, but it will restrict only to form. But what about remaining like remaining operations which we are going to do for universal operations? We can take like anything, even if you are doing patch update anything, if you want to catch the error, if you take if error or else is error also based on your scenario. Using if error we can capture the what is the error we want, and what is the thing which we like, if it is an error what is the thing which we want to do, if it is not an error what we want to do, we can capture it and we can do it. And same for the patch. See, like what is the error, if it is getting failed, what we need to do and what is the thing. Okay, so for the patch, I think which is this is I have already explained to you. And one more thing, which is like even in the last session also I forgot to tell you. So in for the form we have few properties which are like an form properties will be there. So for example, we are here we are displaying what is the error which we are getting, it will capture, right? So if you want to get what is the specific error which form has thrown, if you want to capture that one, okay, then also we can do it. For example, here simply our own error which we are displaying, right? So or else if you in when it will be useful, right, if you want to store logs of the app anywhere, in that scenario if you want to note what is the error which app have thrown, if you want to capture it you can use it. Like for example, unable to save the error form error message. Here what I'll do is what is the error which form have thrown. So to get that one, what is the form name which we are using, that form name we need to use. And there will be so many properties, if you see, we need to use error. So here what it will give us is what is the error which is has form thrown to us, like is it is a mandatory one, any issue which is specific to that one, what is the error which we got, network error, that it will throw to us. Okay, this is one more thing. And another thing which is important property is, so for example, here we have submitted the data, right? That data from that what is the result which we have submitted, if you want to some store somewhere else again immediately, like based on the submitted data I want to perform certain actions. So how can we access what is the submitted data is like an if I go here, mm, form 2 dot, if you go last submit is there, from there what is the result which I submitted, we can get it. For example, whatever the data which user have submitted, all the fields from that, if even if I want to get id, see id I can get it, all the columns, status, everything we can capture it. So when it will be useful is so for example, in the based on this, like after submitting based on that one, if you want, if you are performing any other action, or if we are storing this based on this data, if you are storing it in any other table anywhere, um so based on that we can do it. For example, if I'll write it, if form 2 last submit dot status equal to value equal to new. I want to mm, notify something like, okay. Otherwise, I should notify them as, if it is not a new one, I should notify them as like an your new request is updated. I will notify. Okay. So in that scenario, we can like based on the last submit value, we can check and we can update it. So you may think that, okay, instead of this one directly, I can access this one, right? You may think like that, right? But what will happen, you know, for example, what is, where is the status field? Yeah, this is the status field. I can take this one, I can check based on this one why I need to use this one. I can simply take this like an dot selected dot value equal to new. I can check, you may think. But what will happen, you know, it will give in blank, always give blank value, because after submitting the form, always it will, the submit the form is there, right? It will make it to blank all the columns. It will reset it automatically after submitting the form. So if you are after submitting, if you want to take any control value, it will always result in blank value. That's why we need to no, we don't need to take this like from the control, we need to take from the last submit. Okay, any doubts here? Okay, I'll take it as a no doubts. And one more thing is, if you have taken here, like all the controls which we are, you are wondering like what is the formulas which we are like, I am always returning writing this formula. So every time we are writing these formulas, like if we there is like simply you can drag and drop. Even if I want to increase the width of this one, I can drag it, but it will always not result in an uniform one, because think like your user is always using it in an single like your screen size may be different, my screen size may be different. So if I'm using it in a small tab level device, then at that time controls will be like whatever the controls which we are using, it will be out of scope sometimes. So when what we need to do is, always we need to consider it as parent dot with. For example, instead of dragging and dropping, what I'll do is, if this whatever the control which is there, it will it needs to be occupy entire screen. That in that scenario, what I'll write is simply, I'll write parent dot width. I'll write, for example, it should be occupied. This button is there. It should be always at the end of the our screen. So what I'll do here, so before that one, you need to know some points. This is X property, like this one. In school days, we know all these things. Like this is X and this is Y. So when we are taking X property, we should consider width. Okay. When we are taking Y property, we should consider height, because Y means height, right? X means width. So that means um if I want to keep the X of this position, means see, I'll go here, parent dot width. See, it's almost went to end of the screen. That, and what should happen? It like whatever the screen is that it should like, it should be inside this one. For that one, what I'll do, I will minus self control of that width. Self dot width. See, so automatically kept at end of the screen if you observe. what I like, if we need padding, right? Like all the controls, see, if you observe all the controls in our in any application, there will be some padding, right? So we should also add some padding like 20, 10 based on your requirement. So yeah, I'm adding 20. See, now even if I change the here we can check the responsiveness. I'll take to see, it's not changing, it's automatically adjusting. Any device if you take, I'll take less one. Got it? Or else if I have taken an, simply this one, I'll keep it at the edge. I won't write any formula. I will drag and I'll keep it here. If you observe here, what it will happen, I'll take the less screen width. I'll take it as 200. Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, but it will automatically based on like it will consider the application width. Okay, let me take. Okay, so yeah, we should always consider this one. If you know, if you have seen in the play mode, I'll try to play it. Yeah, for this, whatever the buttons which we have written, I haven't written any parent dot width or any positions I haven't written. So if you observe here, I'll scroll it. So until this level, okay, that buttons are like capturing. If you observe when I'm decreasing, this same, this like for this left side, the space is very more space is there, but if I observe right side, see, there is less space. Even if I decrease further, see, all the controls are cut off now. Why? Because we haven't written any parent dot width, like a parent dot width and any formulas. We simply placed it at some position. If you, if I go here, see, if you see, there is no x and y formulas are there. Okay, this thing you need to consider only when you are like if your application is going to be used in different devices. Okay, these formulas will be useful. So for this one, if I want to always keep it in center of the screen, what I'll write is x, I'll write it as parent dot width, okay, minus self dot width divided by 2. See, automatically it is in the middle now. Got it? So even if like screen size increase, automatically every time it will be going to be there in the center. So if I want to that this y property also, like every time it should be in the center, what I'll write, this should be center of this container, right? Whatever the rectangle which we have done. So based on this height, we need to write y property. So what I'll do is dot height minus self dot, I've told you, right, for the high y position, we need to consider height. Okay, now I'll write divided by 2. See, now it is the center of the screen. Got it? So, like this, you need to write formulas whenever it is required. Okay, any doubts here?
No.
Yeah. And one more thing which is there is like in the last sessions, like while discussing about the different functions, I haven't explained about the choices, right? So when its choices is required. So here I have taken in a combo box. Manually, I have like taken a combo box, and if I want to, for example, what is a SharePoint we have? our SharePoint. I'll open our SharePoint. If you go to our issue tracker, so I want to add in the form, always it will give us like whatever the controls which we are going to add, automatically it will give us default choice values which are there from this status, everything it will give. But for the filters, if I want to add in the application, we need to add that control and we need to mention all the choice values, right? So if I add manual instead of using this one, if I add manually, like I have an like an I'm going to have new choice and like approved any choice columns which are having, it should display. I'll write that like that. I'll write formula, I'll say, but it will display. But what happens, in the future, I want to change whatever the choice values which are there in the here. I'll some for example completed, I'll change it to um like an completed issue, I'll change in the future. That means this choice value also should reflect immediately in the application, right? Again, we no need to open the application and modify here the value, so it should come dynamically from the whatever the data source which we have. So here the values which are there in the specific field where it is stored in the choices, right? So to access these choices, this choice function is developed. So using this formula, whatever which we have written, choices and what is the data source which we have, that it should be mentioned in the square brackets. Okay. That data source, comma, what is the column choices which we want to fetch. That column we need to mention. Like we want to fetch the status choices, right? Status column choices. Then it will fetch the status column choices. See, if you see the result, whatever the choices which we have, it will even if we add any new choices in backend, automatically it will display here as well. Got it? So this is one important one, like when we are using dynamically anywhere
So
with
how we
like
set
not.
the one question there is how we
Mm,
set the dynamic value whenever it will page load. So it there is something is auto selected display, and also
okay, auto
one
selected display.
yes, auto selector. Also, if there is someone just whenever just open that we are on that same window,
Mm,
then someone just change the something on the back end side of the site area
mm.
on the share point, so it will reflect
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah, it will reflect because we are directly whatever the data source which we are accessing from the data source only we are getting, right? So live data only in the application you are going to get it.
But we have to do some action means or just ideally if I am on the same window and someone just change it, so it will reflect on the same time, or you I have to do some action, then or then the page load and then it will.
Okay. So for example, I have there here already this filter logic is there, right?
Yes, yes.
It's run. It was like what are it given result. So again, it won't run like every time. So while you are in the same page, you want to see other person's changes in your screen. No, it won't reflect. We need to manually again refresh the data. So what we can do is we can add in whatever the like in general application we can have refresh. Sorry, refresh icon. Okay, icon. I'll take any icon.
But other than icon, it there is possibility that directly it will reflect the everything.
Yeah, directly like without give adding any function, how will it will reflect?
Actually, if I'm saying in the there is some panel conditions in the other organization, other means technologies, there is functionality under the panel. If I set something, so it will auto reflect and auto.
Yeah, okay, that is what like there is one function to refresh the data. So on click of this one, I want to refresh the data. So we have a refresh function. Okay, that it should track what is the data source we need to mention here. So whatever the data we have, it will automatically refresh and it will whatever the changes which is other person done, automatically it will show it in our screen without refreshing again the browser. If you refresh the browser, anyway it is going to display. But if you don't want to leave user to leave the screen and immediately from here only, if you want to provide an action, we can, like giving an this refresh function.
But
Got it?
in that refresh function, complete page was loaded.
No,
Okay.
no, no. It won't refresh the entire page. It will refresh the simply data source, not entire
So
screen.
okay,
See, we
okay.
are refreshing the data source here. Issue tracker is our data source, right? We are refreshing that one. If I click on this one, see, it's refreshing the data,
Okay.
not application. So even if other person made changes while you are in the same screen, if you want to see that other person data, you can click on this one and we can get it.
Okay,
That
so
one.
actually one of the interviewer asked me one question. So how we, as a, if I'm saying it's a like share website, if there is share displaying the share details. So at that time the live share details are automatically changed in in a minutes, in a second actually.
Yeah, yeah.
They want that the data is automatically changed. We cannot click on somewhere and it will automatically change. There is no need to click because every time no person can click every minute, and so that's why their requirement is in such case actually.
Oh, okay. In that scenario, if no manually do that person don't want to
Yes,
distress,
manually they do not want to change.
yeah.
In,
Okay.
if I'm
Then in
saying there
that
is a
scenario, yeah, yeah,
earning.
yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Okay, so in that case also, if I'm a manager and someone just
Mm,
assigning something on the board, so
mm.
I do not need to click somewhere. I just the status automatically change and I just check. Okay, it will assign to someone. It will assign to someone. What's going on back end side. So I do not need to refresh the page and it automatically change and I will check. So in such scenario, they just given to me actually.
Ah, okay. So in that scenario, what you can do is you can add a timer. That timer, you can add like frequency. You can give every half minute. It should refresh automatically. That you
Oh,
can take it. We have a timer control in our application. See timer. So for this one, duration, how much duration it should be, like 60 minutes, any thing which we want, like I want to refresh it to 1000 means 1 minute or 1 second. Yeah, I'm not sure, even I forgot. Yeah, okay, anyway.
I think it's second,
Yeah,
1000 second.
yeah, okay. So 2 seconds I have given this one. On timer start, what is the function operation we should do, and on timer end what it should happen. Okay, we can mention it. And if you go here, repeat option is also there. If you want to repeat it, like if in your scenario, like it never should stop out every time. It should like, and every 2 or 3 seconds it should refresh in your scenario, right? You can make it as true, and you can refresh what, like on timer start every time you can make this as true, and on timer start whatever the refresh function which we have written, you can do it. Okay, it's without any human intervention. Automatically this timer only every 2 or 3 seconds, what is the time duration which you have mentioned, it will refresh
So we
data.
can do the same for the site means can we try it now? So
Yeah, okay. On timer start, refresh issue tracker, repeat true, I'll make it. Duration, I'll make it to 5000. Okay. Again, it's refreshing. If you see,
okay,
so
yes,
I'm not doing anything.
yes, yes.
Every 5 minutes, it's refreshing automatically.
So we just
Got it?
hide the button and it will
Yeah,
back.
yeah. You can hide it, and like on visible is there, right?
Yes,
On
on
visible, you can there will
all.
be an function we have, select. Like you user don't want to select here, what I have done, I have clicked on this button, right? If you have
Yes.
seen, I have clicked on it. Like user can't, no need to click on that only. It should automatically start, right? So what you can do on visible of the screen, you can write select. What is the timer control which we want to select? Timer one, right? We need to mention that one. Got it? This function is to like automatically application will select it. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll go here to another screen. I'll go to that all issue screen. Select timer one. It should select 1 minute. Yes. Yeah, it's working, but I'm not sure. Timer one. Start property we need to give. Sorry. So for this one, what is the start one? We need to give on visible. True. Or else some auto property will be there. Even if I got the properties, auto start. Yeah, auto start is there. True. Yes, I'll go. Yeah, see, it's automatically starting now. I haven't clicked anywhere. Even I'll go back. I'll open here. See, automatically it will start.
Okay.
Hmm.
And what
Even
about the default choice selection?
default choice selection, which is I have already discussed in the form control. If we go, see, for example, whenever we are, I'll go here, new issue is there. Like whenever it is a new issue, automatically issue logged by should be whatever the current user is there, that current user name I want to display it.
Okay.
And if you see here, date reported also today's date, it should be there. So what we have done for the combo box, if we have an default selected, every control it is we call it a different name. For text it will be just default. If you go to here, default,
But
yeah, it is value. What is the in the value property we should mention? If you go to a combo box, we should mention default selected item is there, right? Here what I'm doing, if it is a new mode, I want default selected value should be current user record, right? So here I'm fetching, I'm creating a like this is the object for the people picker column, person column in the SharePoint. Okay, that I'm mentioning. If it is not, then what is the default value which we have, that is going to be displayed if it is not a new mode. Okay, this is how we can mention it in the default selected item. So what is the default value will depends on the for the combo box data source which you have given. So for this data source which is a people person column, right? So we should provide this schema for the default selected item. Okay, claims department, display name, email, everything it will expect from us to give. So if you haven't given like normal person name or anything, it will throw an error, it won't give us correct value. So what is the schema which is expecting, we should mention it. So same object I have mentioned here: claims, department, display name of the user, email, job title, picture. Okay, these are the mandatory ones. Display name, email id, like even if you don't give this department or picture, this that's fine, but claims, email and display name should be there. Got it? For example, status column, it is like a new, by default it should display new, right? What I have written in the default selected, as the data source for this one is, if you have checked here, see value, this is the data source which we have given. So same thing, like if I have gone to here, default selection, same schema I have given here, right? Got it?
so,
In the default selected items, we should mention it. Any doubts?
No. It's a single line of code only. If condition,
Yeah,
then
just the, like only in the new mode I want to display this value. Otherwise, it should display this value, right? In your scenario, always it is needs to be display new. That means no need to write condition. Directly you can write this new value simply. Okay.
okay.
Whatever the like which have text highlighter, I can give it like every time, whatever the scenario, every time it should display new. In that scenario, I'll give only this text value. I will not add this condition and everything. For example, in our here, it should always display. For example, it should display in progress tickets. It should display by default. What I can do here, I will come here and I will default selected item is there, right? What I'll take value in progress. Okay. See, now what I will do, we have, as I told you, reset control we have, right? Reset, what is this like, if you haven't reset, what it will happen also, I'll show you. See, I have taken it as a, it's a multi select. I'll change it to only single select, you'll understand.
So if it is go to it refresh the window, then
Yeah, I will
default
tell
it
you
is
that is
on the blank
see,
area.
by default it is in progress is there, right? I have changed it to duplicate. I have went to back, I went back and I have again opened all issues. See, whatever the previous selection is there, that one it is displaying. No, whenever I have went back to again and again I came to here, always it like it should display in progress only, right? To do that one, we should reset our control on visible. I'll go here. This one it's not required. Reset. What is our control name? Combo box. I'll make it to CMB. Combo box CMB we should mention. Filter status. Okay. Yeah, I'll take this control and I will give it here. Okay. Now if I go back and I have selected duplicate, right? So, okay, I'll change it to won't fix. Okay. I'll go back here, all issues. See, it again reset to in progress.
Yeah.
So reset property will reset the default value of that one. Got it? So this is how whatever the default value will be there, it depends on the data source which you are given in the combo box or else drop down. Both it depends on the value which you have given. But remaining, if it is a text like text controls, it will be always we need to give text. If it is a number, we should give number. That same. Okay. Here we should consider default selected items, not default.
Okay, if someone add new column or delete some column from the sheet SharePoint area, so it will whenever it will reflect, so the same data will be impacted there also on the basis of column also. It will impact on.
No. If, for example, in the form is there, right? For example, in the future, I have deleted hmm, status column is there. I have deleted the status column in the future. Okay. Then in that scenario, it will throw errors here because status column that is this application not able to could not able to find that status column. So wherever we have written this item dot status, this item store the status is like not in the data was. So from here where it will get that one. So it will throw an error here. So here also wherever we have um, used that one, we should remove it. For
Okay.
example, status column here I have used. I need to remove it. The choice column which I have, filter column which I have used. Here also I should remove it. Based on status column, whatever we have written condition everywhere, I should remove it. Otherwise, it will throw an error because this application couldn't be able to find that status field in the database.
Okay, just it's a just for displaying the data, not for the form for editing. The single window for just displaying the data in.
Yeah, see here also, for example, here I haven't used status anywhere, but here I'm using, for example, I'm saying. So here what we are telling, fetch the data from the status column. I'm telling status column is not itself not there in the backend. That in that scenario it will throw an error as
Yes, in
this
that case,
application could.
we are utilizing that condition. We are using that status column on the multiple area. But if there is some, if I'm saying priority area, we are not utilizing other than the displaying in the in the just in that
Yeah, here also it will throw an error because
it
this
will
item dot
also
priority is
this
not
item
there
of
in the
priority,
database, right?
not in the database. Yes, yes. In that
Yeah, so it will throw an
case,
error.
what
It
it
will
will
give
do.
an error here.
Okay. So means if there is something change done in the backend side, so we have to implement it. If
Yeah,
either they add or either they delete something.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Mostly database changes won't they won't do it even if they want, like they, it's least I would say. Once it is
Yes,
went to
but
production, they won't modify
a-
any data changes.
actually, I'm trying to create something now. So in that time, I just
Mm.
thinking that something changed this thing.
Yeah. In development mode, yeah, there are scenarios. Once they want to, we will create it as state a normal text column. Again, they want it to change it to state.
Normal.
Now, yeah, choice column like that. It will happen. Yeah, but in that scenario, while anyway we are in development mode, development phase, right? Simply we can come here and we can delete that control. It's not a big issue, right? Yeah, that is how it will be there. And one more thing which we have discussed is yeah, notify. For the notify also we have written function. I think it's simple. You have already I have taken Outlook action in our data. Outlook action I have taken, and what is the email which I want to send, and what is the subject which we need to send it to user, and what is the body which we want to send. Okay, so here if we observe in any of the applications, for example we have raised a support request, what will happen in that scenario? um, like we will receive link to our support ticket immediately. If we click on that link, it will redirect to our only not list of records, it will only redirect to the specific request which we have created, right? So in our scenario also, you for example for this record we are sending notify option, right? So in that scenario, whenever like if we should provide an URL, that person should see only this specific record, like uh like this it should open. Okay, so in that scenario what we need to do is, before that one we have few properties. App, like there is an I think I have already explained about on start, what it should happen, on start of the application what we should do, that code we should mention it. And start screen means what is this, like whenever application is loading, what should be the first screen it should open. So for example in our scenario, what is happening whenever we are loading application? See, home screen is loading, right? This first screen, home screen is getting loaded, right? So by default, what, like even if I don't give anything here, by default it will application will open only home screen, like whatever the first screen in our screens is there, that screen it will going to be opened. But for example later we want to show it to another screen, that screen we should mention it, not home screen should display, it should display screen number 2. Then in that scenario we should mention like screen to, yeah, screen to, yeah, I will mention that in that scenario whenever we are opening the application, it will display that specific screen. Okay, but what in our scenario what we are doing is, that is like what is the screen, start screen we are getting, right? So I'll explain. If I go to here, apps, I'll go details, I went, and this is the app URL which we have. So if I click on this one, and if I play it, so this is the application which we are loading, right? So like we need to identify the we need to display the specific record, right? What is the identifier for our record to display? Our unique identifier is id column in the SharePoint, right? So I will pass parameter as id so that I can, based on that id, I can open that specific record. So what I'll do is I'll take a notepad. Okay, here I will pass parameter at the end, and parameter I will sorry, question mark I'll choose id equal to what is the id which we want to pass. For example, second record I want to, id number 2 record I want to display. So if I open, if I place in the browser, see it's redirected to specific screen now. So how we are doing that one? I have written in logic on start. We have passed one parameter in the URL, right? ID at the end, if you see id equal to 1. So whether this id is there, like if we are not passing this parameter, then in that scenario home screen should display. If we are passing the parameter, then that specific record screen should display, right? So we are checking using param function, we can check whether that parameter is there or not. So you param, what is the parameter id, right? So that parameter is value is there, like if it is not blank, I'm checking. If it is not blank, then in that scenario, where selected item, I'm storing the record which we are like lookup to fetch the single record from the database. We will use lookup, right? If we are using filter, then this is also interview question. If you want to get a single record from our database, we will use lookup function. If we are want to fetch like list of records, then we will use filter. Okay, here it will if you see here, it will result as record. Okay, if you see the filter logic, the output will be table. See, data type is table. Lookup, it will result as it is result in a single record it will be there. Okay, now on start of that one, I'm fetching only single record we need to get, right? That single record I am getting based on the id. Okay, as we are in the parameter, it will come as a string value. I'm just converting it to the value, that means number. Then in after that one, I'm resetting the form. We need to open it in edit mode, right? I'm opening, if you are in this in your scenario, if you want to open it in view mode, you can open it. Okay, based on like as of like I'm opening it in the edit mode. Then start screen, what I have done, what is the thing which will like same, when it is not blank, form screen should open. If it is otherwise, it should open home screen. So that is why it's redirecting to the specific screen based on scenario. So if I remove id here, it will open home screen for us. Got it? Any doubts here? This is deep linking process, we call it. So I'll repeat, like parameter, using parameter, first we need to open the record, we need to pass whatever the id is there, right? That id we need to pass it as an parameter. Based on that parameter, if it is like using param function, we need to check whether it is parameter is passed or not. Based on the parameter value, we need to navigate to, on start screen, we need to navigate to the whatever the screen which we want, and in the on start we need to fetch the that specific record. Got it? And here, so we have an on error property also we have there, right? On error, what it is means, so everywhere we are doing error handling, but on application level, if even still some errors if you are getting on the application level, if you want to do error handling, On error property, like on error of that one, whatever the action which you want to perform, you can do it here. Okay.
So it is kind of uh, global error handler.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that is this one. And so we have an two options, like directly this is default save option we have, but here we have an different options we have, like save with version note and save as and download a copy. So first the important ones are like save is there, like that means it will immediately save it. But uh, it's loading, 1 minute. I'll make some changes. Okay. So yeah, now I want to note it as like version notes is there. Save with version notes is what is the like if you go to here and see the versions. Okay. See here, it's displaying what is the version number we have, and modified who is modified, like if multiple persons are there, like I have modified, next time you have modified something, then your name is going to be there. And app release, like published version note, these are the things we have, right? Version notes, like if I save go here and if I save with mod renamed home page header text. Okay, I'll write this thing and I have saved it. If I go here, if I refresh this one, see. So when this is will be useful, so for example, if you multiple developers are there, even if you want to restore like what are the changes which we have done in our each version, each save, we can know by reading this version notes itself, we can know, okay, in this time, like I have done this version change, like sorry, I have renamed this control. By reading this version notes, I can identify and I can check it, and so I can revert back the previous version if anything is like after this change some bug is came, like I have modified something by mistakenly, I have clicked on some deleting control, I have deleted, I want to revoke it to the previous version, so I can revoke it to this version. Okay, until this version change it was worked perfectly, right? Then I can come here and I can click on restore. Okay. By clicking on this restore, it will automatically restore it as a new version. So for example, but at that time, if you want to restore it, application should be closed in edit mode. Okay. Then only it will be restored. Hmm. Here, if you see the live function, published is there, live is there. That means what is that means is like until here whatever the published thing which we are seeing, right, that changes only we are seeing. Here this is like it is saved in the backend, but it is not published to the end user. Whatever the changes we have done, it won't reflect to the end user. To see the end user, we need to publish the application. Okay, if I publish this one, yeah, it's publishing. I'll go here and if I refresh, see, now this version is the published version, whatever the renamed homepage is there, right? That is the version published one. So end user is going is seeing this version now. Got it? So this is the options we have. And one more thing, if I go here, so this is the apps we have, right? If I click on like this is an edit, this is play means it will play the application. But if I want to share it to end user, like I have developed this application, I want to share it to other persons, I will come here and I will click on this share, and who is the person I want to share it. I want to share it to Mithun. I will click on here and I will enter his name, and like even multiple persons also I want to share, I can share it. Pranav. Okay, what is the level of permission I want to give it them? User and co-owner we have, right? So what is mean by user? User means they can only use the application in the play level. Okay. Co-owner means they can like even they can come here and they will edit the application. Okay. So if I give the user level user permission, you can only simply access this application in play mode. That's it. You can't edit the application. Okay. I'll share this one. Okay. After sharing it, you will receive an email with the URL and details of like Mamta has shared this application with you. Okay. For example, I want to modify existing user permission. I'll come here, manage access. What is like for Manoj, I have given co-owner. I want to change it to user. I can change it. I haven't given. I want to give Mithun to co-owner access, or else I want to remove access to this person itself. Entire access I want to remove it. I can remove it. Okay, got it, and I can apply it. If pending invites is there, right? For example, if you any like I
So,
have
multiple people can work on the same app.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, multiple people can work on that one. But what is thing which there is one setting which we need to do, that I'll explain it. Give me 1 second.
Hmm.
So let's complete this one, this entire thing. And there is a pending manage access. There is a pending invites is there, right? Pending invites. What is this one? Is for example, we have you you have this URL is there, right? Using this URL you don't have permission, but using this URL, or else using, if you have an access to this environment also, you are trying to play it. As you don't have permission to that application, you will get an in same level, like if you open any application or any document, even in Excel also, if without like any permission, if you try to open, request for access uh, button will come, right? If they click on that one, who is the owner of this application? Not co-owners, I'm repeating. Only owners will receive notification. Co-owners won't receive it. Okay. Owner of the application, whoever is there, that person will receive email for the request approval. Okay. By like if the users, like there are plenty of requests which they have, by they can come here and manage access. What are the pending, like 10 members are requested for the access, by coming here they can approve it from here itself. Not if they want, they can come access from the email, but yeah, if we have like at a time, if they want to handle from here itself, they can come here and they can do it. And additional data access is there, right? So issue tracker roles and everything, like from here they can't give it, like as I have told you, for the application, whatever if it is a data was from while sharing only, we can provide the access. As it is a SharePoint which is third party to this application, whatever the SharePoint which we have access, they need to give from there itself. So it will list out what are the like permissions they should have. For example, even these, what are these data sources are there, right? These are the data sources they should have access. Of this is the responsibility of the user who is sharing the application. Okay, to provide the access. Without providing access, if they want to, or if they can, if they have only shared the application, it's no use, like they can't see the data. Okay. So everywhere, like what is the permissions for this issue tracker? If I click on, it will redirect to the SharePoint set. From here only, they should give access, not from the application. Okay.
For data handling, is there is a dataverse section, means under the dataverse we just add all the connections and that data.
Yeah, that is data was related, but not to the SharePoint. Even if you have opened the application, Let me refresh it. If you have a first time user, you will get one pop-up kind of thing. Or else I'll do one thing. I'll remove one of the Office 365 connection. I'll read it. Office 365. Even in the like while loading the application for the first time user also, it will show to us saying that let me check, I have published, right? Say whenever there is a new version, it will give pop up. If we click on refresh, see, to play app demo refresh any can ensure this app is shared from a trusted and confirm permissions to access data. So here, as I have access to these records, um, like directly I'm able to like connection already created. If you don't have an access to this one, this connection itself will be failed. For example, you don't have access to this SharePoint site which we are used in this application. That means you can't establish a connection here, right? This allow function allow operation won't come here for you. Even though if I have an access to this all of them, even if I haven't allowed also, at that time also no data will be going to display. I need to allow, then only I using these connections I can access the data. Got it?
Yes.
For the if it is a data was while sharing the application only, we will get that options to share the data was whatever the required permissions are there. But for the SharePoint, as it is not related to the Power Platform, that permission thing we should handle it in outside of the that specific portal itself. Like even if it is SQL we are using, they should have SQL access. That is responsibility of that admin to share the access to end users. Okay. Even in any other, even if we are developing a Java application, any application without having providing data source to the application, simply if they have provided application access to the data source, then it is they will see the like limited data, right? So in anywhere, not only here, anywhere they should have access to the database to see the data. Got it? So if they have an if they don't have an like an simply user permission we have given, this edit per option will be disabled. Only play option they are going to have. Even share option also it will be disabled for them. If they have co-owner, edit, share every permission they are going to have it. Okay. And delete permission only who is the, like I am the owner, right? That's why I have this permission option. If you are the co-owner, then delete option for you it will be disabled. If you see it, as I have shared with you guys, right? You can check it. And one more thing we have is, I will go here. Uh, Yeah, what is the question which you have asked, Pranav? Yeah, co-owner. Sorry, yeah, co-authoring. So by default, Power Apps will allow only one user to edit the application. So while I'm doing the editing, if other person open the application, even though they have a co-owner permission or even owner permission also, if the other person is there while editing, if they have other person is open, then they will see like this person is already open in an edit mode. For you, it will only like editing is displaying that. It will be read only mode. It will display for you. Okay. So to avoid that one to work multiple people at a time, we have an feature that is if you go to settings, updates, if I go, there is a co-authoring new in the new updates. There is a co-authoring. By default, it will be off. So if I enable it, multiple your Apple, I think we are saved up to date. Yeah. Sorry. If I enable it, multiple people can work on this application. Okay. So even like, even if I'm while working, you can, other person can come and they can work on the that specific application. But still it's not 100% working properly. There are some still limitations are there. Like for example, if you are working in another screen, and I'm working on home screen and view screen. If other person is working on form screen, yeah, then in that scenario it will, whatever the changes, for example, after whatever the changes which I have done, if I click on save, then immediately whatever the changes which I have done, if I have enabled a co-authoring, there is one option is going to come here. Sync option is going to come. I am not sure why it is not there. Updates. Yeah, okay, anyway. That after the, like, if I click on save, immediately whatever the changes which I have done, it will reflect in your application. Got it? So even if you make any changes in your specific screen, automatically in my application also it will reflect immediately.
Okay.
Okay. So until unless if both we are working on the same control, it will work perfectly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that is co-authoring one. And
And
another, mm,
one more thing I wanted to ask. Uh, Maybe you can take it later. What is the difference between on failure and on error?
on failure and on error. Okay, on failure is for form control we have. See, form, if you go here, I have showed it to you, right? On failure will be only there for this form property.
Okay.
Okay. And like for the other controls, it won't be there, this option. On
Hmm.
failure of the submitting the, like, if you are submitting the form, if you are getting, this will trigger only if you are submitting using submit function.
Okay.
If you are submitting it from the, like, if you are updating it using patch, in that scenario this on failure won't trigger. Got
Okay.
it?
Okay. So
And
if there is any error other than submitting, it won't be catching it.
yeah, it won't capture because we are not submitting the form.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. On error we have this one, right? Only here we have on error. In other controls we don't have. But generally error handling in the interviews, if they ask, as I have told you, this is the thing which you can do mention.
Okay. And
Got it?
on error will catch any error.
Any error app level globally.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and few things like in the last session.
So what we can do
y-
whenever the app level of error on error conditions means we can create some logs or the notification.
Yeah, like it's based on your scenario. Even if you want to display some pop up, then you can display it. And even if you want to like an yeah, save logs, that also you can do it. It depends on your use case.
Okay.
Whatever the requirement which you have, you can do it. Everything, like all the functions, it will handle. You can perform here. Okay. And if I go, I'll try to complete all the app related. Is there anything pending which I have forgot to mention in the last session in here? I think almost I have covered, right?
Yes. Almost. For for coding synchronization, what we are using? This I think logs. Maybe the logs details also missed. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you go to advanced tools, if you go to live monitor, we have this one, right? Live monitor is disabled. I think I have enabled co-authoring, right? Maybe that is why. Okay, I'll disable co-authoring.
So whenever we debugging the tool, so in that case, which is the mean where the areas where we have to validate the logs? Is there error logs or internal application log or app level of log?
So, for example,
These all logs also created internally somewhere. Other than we are created as a developer, we are creating. This is the different log. But
mm,
what about the apps related or application? Maybe there is some any type of issue we have received. No?
that is like error handling we are doing, right? On error of something, if you want to store logs, that is like we need to do it. Currently, there is nowhere like we have all logs are automatically storing. No, it's not there. But if you want to perform on error, for example, we are doing error handling, right? At that time, if you want to store, if you have created any logs list, in that list, any error, it should store it here. On error of that one, you can patch it to that specific location. Okay.
This is the user created logs actually.
Yeah, user created logs only then. That is going to be. Uh, User
Other than
created
that,
logs means
system logs there is something applications app. If
no,
there is
app logs. No, there is no such kind of thing. Only for if you go to here, only these are the things which you can access. Details if you go,
analyzing.
versions, what are the connections which you have, what are the flows which we have, analytical preview, like performance that is going to be there. Okay.
So, in Canvas apps, can we show Power BI dashboards as well?
There are some Power BI controls are there, like not many, I would say. If you go here, I will let's check here. See, these are the charts which have column
Mm-hmm.
chart, pie chart, Power BI tile, which we can
Okay.
link it to Power BI. That's how, like, these are the things which we have, but not many.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Okay.
it's limited, but okay. These are the things which we have. Okay, let me check the live monitor. Advanced tools. Yeah, open. When it is co-authoring, it's not displaying. Yeah. So I'll open live monitor. I will go here and I'll come from the home screen. Okay, what is live monitor is, for example, uh, we are getting whenever we are doing application, running application, right? That time, at that time, any errors which we are getting, like incorrect data, which you are thinking, okay, where when you don't know what is causing that issue, or else like at doing the application, we are if you are getting any error, or else if you are getting any performance of the application, if it is low, then in that scenario what you can do is you can check this monitor, open this monitor tool, and whatever the like, lively it will capture. So for example, I have clicked on all issues. At that time, whatever the things which we are loading, it will capture it here. See, at that time, these are the, like, we are clearing operation, clear operation we are doing. Like any error, the status of that operation which is causing anything, like if status 200 means it is successful, right? That is like how much duration which operation is taking. If you think any operation is taking like more time, you can optimize based on this, seeing this time limit, and what is the control each loading line by line. Okay, you can check it here.
So, on every request, this is getting recorded.
Yeah, yeah, every request. See, if I have at that time, it's like, see, we are doing this refresh, right? That's why every time it's loading, loading, loading. But yeah, I will go and I will click on this edit. Okay, at that time, what it is happening, it will capture. Get row on, get attachments, everything it is there, right? That.
So anything, any action we perform on the
Yeah,
app.
ICO edit we have clicked on, select of this one. These are the operations which are run. Okay, which is like a user, what are the operation, user action. This is the action which we have done. These are the actions which is performed by application. See, button click we have done, right? So that is why it's like, so we can know everything here. Okay.
So we do not have to record any kind of logs or something separately.
This is so like we are not storing it anywhere, but
Mhm.
we can like download these logs and we can check it in Excel, but we can't store this into anywhere. We don't have such option.
No, no. What I'm saying in the
Mm,
application, we don't
mm.
have to separately mention any kind of logging or something, right?
Yeah, it's not required, but as I've told you, everything is depends on your use case scenario. If they want to store it in some other place or SharePoint, that's your wish. That you need to do in that scenario. Okay.
Uh, Okay.
Mm,
What I
yeah.
was saying was
Mm, mm,
like uh, like we have for error handling, we
mm.
have a separate logging, right? I mean, we have a separate what can we say? Separate thing. Like we have to separately handle it, right? So for
Yeah, yeah.
logging, we don't have any separate thing, right? It will be automatically captured. That is the only one we are relying
Yes,
on,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So even if we want to directly debug here, we don't have anything. So that is the thing which we have. Almost I have discussed. Yeah, one more thing which I have discussed. This is like components are there, right? Whatever the components which we have created here, it will be accessible only at this specific app level. For example, you have created this header component. You think this header component is you can use it in every application, I would say. Okay, it will be same. So again, every time, and I no need to create every time again and again all these functionalities, right? What I can do is I can go to our apps, and I can go, not apps, sorry. If I need to go to more, discover all. If you go here, here we have an option called component libraries. Okay, here create a component library. What is the component library which we want to create it? I can come here and I can create the same components here. UI will be same there and here it will be same. But if we create it in component library, that you can access anywhere in the application. Like in all the application, not only single application. I can come here and I can like an if I click on this place here, we have get more components option is there, right? Import components. Here we will like as we don't have any components as of now, we are not getting. If we have anything, it will list out here. If we click on this one and we import it, that component will be imported into our application. Got it?
Okay.
This component library, like it will be that component we can access to entire organization, like applications. Okay, well, like even if you are
Mhm.
creating 100 applications, in 100 application I can access that one. It's not an issue.
So, so the component created in separately in an application that cannot be exported or anything.
No, like that. Even from here, like I can't access. This will be limited to here only in this application only. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that again I need to recreate there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that will be here. Like even if I have, if I come here, like export import are there, but manually we need to do every time importing and exporting from there and importing here. It will be very hassle, right? Like, directly if I create it in a component library,
Mm-hmm.
I can simply come here and I can click on get more components, and whatever the component which we have created, I can import it, right? Again, no need to there from
Yeah.
there.
So at the start of the project, you are first creating components first.
Yeah, that is like depends on your again use case, because for example, that component, whatever the component which you have created, you are not going to use it in any other applications. It will be used
Mm-hmm.
in one or two applications, that's it. It won't be like future use component. In
Hmm.
that scenario, I will simply create it in my component application level component itself.
Okay.
If you think that component will be used in organization level, that will be like for
Hmm.
your development, it will be easy for you, then in that
Hmm.
scenario you can go there and you can create it. That's it.
Okay. And related to this, one more question.
Mm.
Like we store all these components in this environment only, or we can store it in Bitbucket, GitHub, something?
No, no, no. It will be in the specific environment if we create it. Even if you want to store it anywhere like GitHub, everything, you need to export and you need to place it there.
No. So do you follow that in your company, or how's it?
No, no, we won't actually.
Okay. So everything, every version control, every file
Everything
is
will
there in
be,
this
yeah,
environment
in
only.
this environment only. So
Okay.
environments is like a storage itself. Like it is like a GitHub
Mm-hmm.
again. Like why we need to store it there
Yeah.
some other place? Whatever the applications which we have, everything will be stored it
Mm.
here only. So like we have in as if in the starting I have told you, like everywhere, like for the development we have a separate environment. We have for UAT we have a separate environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like each phase, like unlike other application, same we will follow for this only. Each, like we can create how many environments we want, how many we want, we can create it, and it's simple, right?
Okay. Okay.
We can maintain it one place, at one place only.
Okay.
See, if I go here, see these are the environments which I have. Even if I want, I can create
Mm-hmm.
it for then on the environment u for UAT.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, uh, for us, like for UI path, like there is a Bitbucket, even though they have everything in Orchestrator. So that is why
Okay.
I asked.
No, mostly, but we can, but we are not following that one.
Okay. Okay.
So that is the thing which we have. Okay, any doubts until now? What we have discussed? I'll complete this one with another thing, which is like an using this app. So if it is a web browser, we are coming to this make.powerapps portal and we are seeing these applications which are there, right? For example, the same application, like as I have told you, using this URL, you can access it in anywhere you want. But for example, even in your application also, like from the power apps portal itself, you want to access whatever the applications which you have here, how it is listing, these are the applications which I have, like all the applications which I have, everything it's displaying here, right? Same, every time maintaining this URL, instead this I want to log into this one, we have in mobile applications, we have a power apps application we have. If you download and if you sign in with that one, like any organization application you have, same, you from Play Store you can download that Power Apps application I'm talking about, not this application. You can't download it from the Play Store. Power Apps application, if you download it, there if you sign in, whatever the application you have access, that is going to be display for you, and from the mobile you can use it.
So
Got
from
it?
the mobile, how we can use with the help of URL, we click on that, then
Yeah, that is another one way we can use it. But for example, here I'm seeing all the application, right?
okay.
Every time like you maintaining that URLs will be has it for me. What I can do is I can from the, if you now also if you search in your phones, Google Play Store, Power Apps application will be there if you search it.
Power Apps application.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under the Power Apps application, we log in with our URL and there
Yeah, not URL, your organization account, whatever the
mention account.
organization you have credentials which you are using, log into this make.powerapps.com. Same credentials, you need to log in and you can open this whatever the applications which you have access, they will list it out. Got it?
And we can trigger from there also.
Yeah, same. You can use that application from there also.
Okay,
Same. Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
and what about the URL rechanging? We discussed.
URL won't. It won't change URL. URL will be uniform because details is there, right? If you see here, if you see the application URL, this is the application path play, and this is the ID of our tenant and the environment. Sorry, this is the tenant ID which we are using, and this is the environment ID and application ID. So the application ID, tenant ID, these won't be changed, right? So this needs to be there to redirect this to the specific application. We can't change this URL.
Okay, like other application, whenever we log in on our laptop or
Mm,
somewhere in our phone also,
uh,
if there is a an internet was disconnected, so what
yeah.
happened? That organization, it will hold other apps holding the data.
Mm,
But what
mm, mm.
about the
So here also we have that offline possibility is there. For that one, there is like separate functions which are there. I'll cover that in next session.
okay?
Yeah, in real time I can't explain that because I can't connect it to mobile and everything. But in a theoretical way, how we can use that, I'll explain it. Okay.
Not on the phone application also. If we log in on the same browser on the system also, and
Yeah, that is the offline mode only we can
offline.
use that one. There are some functions which are there to approach like save data in an offline mode, that there those, so some functions are there that we need to use. If it is like an connection is in offline, that data should be stored in our, like, but that will be stored in our device storage locally. It will store at that time. After once it is back to online, we will patch it to the data source. That is there. I'll explain, I'll cover that in next session. Still we have responsive applications. Few things are, I think, that we can cover in next session. It's already late. Yeah.
Yes, no, okay, so in that same, if I'm saying so, restaurant, I can use the question. Is there is functionality means without internet there is work on the intranet the same actions.
Not intranet. There are some functions called saved save data. So some, even I forgot the function name, save data and collect. I'm not sure. Some functions are save data. Let me check in Google.
No, I just because I mean in the
Yeah,
next
load data.
option we
These
just
are the functions we have to save data in a locally.
so means we can create the application for intranet also. Without internet, it will.
Yeah, but it's not like completely we can use that one. But when it is like an as it is, as I have told you, at that time the data will be stored in our local device, whatever the operations which we have done. So once it is back to online, to store it in the back end, again you need to have an internet to use store that one.
Okay, it's like a data reader.
Yeah, so in a, like
Will
if you
store
have
it.
few minutes, if you have a connection issue and
Okay.
again it went back to online, that at that time it will be useful. Otherwise, if you want completely use it in your application in offline, no, because this is going to be used in your local storage.
Okay. Can you share the uh, this solution with us as a user so we can just validate it also then
Yeah,
same.
last time you have shared credentials, right, with you?
Yes, I have a credential, but I think the solutions under
Solution, like by default, this is the default solution. Everyone will, are going to have that one. See, if you go here, demo app is the app which we are developing.
no, I think nothing. I am already logging on the demo where I have to check under the apps there is nothing actually.
My apps, it is not the not going to be there. What is your name?
Manoj Kavi.
Huh?
Manoj.
Manoj, right? I think I have shared it with you.
Maybe okay. It is
Yeah,
shared with
it is there. It will be then in that scenario for you. It will going to be there in shared with me. Or else, if you go to click on all the applications with the applications which
for performing some action. I have to log in from there, or I have to back up in my apps, or directly start working as per the company means what we have followed in that case.
my apps means which, what are the applications which I have created. Shared with me means The application which I have a cone or application which
So
are
I'm just
shared with me.
so I'm just start working on there, and whenever we do
Yeah,
the
like even
application,
to create an application anywhere is fine. Like you can come here and you can click on create, or else even if you want to create, click on
and
create
they
and
share with application. If I have to update something under the demo app, so I have to do under the share with me, and I have to update it and then push out the data.
okay. You are saying to edit the application or to use the application?
No app uh, running for no for the editing actually. As a developer, if I'm also working on the
Okay. Simply you
framework,
can share as I have given the Kona permission, right? Let me check what permission, user permission or Kona I have given. Manoj, right? Yeah, co-owner I have given for you. Then if you go to shared with me, anything shared with me or all, anything is fine. You can search simply here, and for me it won't be there in shared with. Yeah, I'll go to all. Okay. Demo app is there. If you can click on this edit icon, or else simply if you want to open it in a new tab, you can click on this arrow icon and you can click on edit in a new tab. It will open in a new tab and you can start work on that one. That's it. It's not an issue. For example, if you do one thing, don't modify this one because we are already doing in the same application, right? What you can do is if you want to take the copy of the application, here you can come. Here we have an like a save as option is there. What it will do is save as. If I click on this one, yeah, I think you are already open, right? See, for me it's displaying.
because I
Viewing.
think
Manoj Tyagi is viewing. See, this is how we are going to get it one. If some other person is editing it, then for me this whatever the person is editing, for me it will open in read only. Okay. Yeah, save as option is there, right? If I click on save as option, it will create a copy for us with same existing like. Okay. If you want to replace, we can replace, and I don't want to replace. I want to create a copy. I'll create a copy. Download a copy is there, right? If I go to my again applications, see it is created a copy application. Same thing will be there. Whatever the things which we have done, everything will be created in this demo copy. Got it? Any doubts?
no,
Okay, then that's it for the today's session. Let's continue on the like. I think Manoj or Mithun, someone have last few questions on the last session, right? That I will try to cover in the next session. Okay.
so for multi-form concept.
Yeah, multi-form and some even I forgot that one. Can you send those in the as because after like ending the call, even I'm losing the chart. Can you
Yes,
send those in my like in the group we have, right? WhatsApp group. There, if you send them, I'll try to cover them in the session. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's it, guys. Like, whatever the doubts which you have, you can ask me in the like whatever we have done until now. You can practice and ask doubts in a session regarding the Canvas application. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then.
but
Bye.
just one question I have also.
Mm.
What's the major difference between the canvas and the modern one? Some asking that all.
Okay.
Depending on
So,
the database only.
yeah. What is the major difference between Canvas application and model driven application is, see, from the if your requirement is on UI level, if you want to do the beautification of your application, whatever the UI which you want to create, like however you want, we then our major priority is UI, then we will go for Canvas application. our if you are performing application, our major priority is data, for example. Okay, if you are develop, if you want to develop an application on top of the data, then we will go for model driven application. There UI much you can't do much. Whatever the simple power apps given that form everything, those only we need to use them. But whereas canvas application, whatever the UI which we want, we are adding with rectangles or any icons, whatever everything we are adding that. But model driven application, it will forms everything, it will give us for us, like how we want to display the data, like what are the operations which we want to perform data, what is the limitations, everything we want to do on the data level, then we will go for model driven application. So in the if based on a scenario like last time we have done, like see there are some limitations with the data in canvas application, right? If you want to do filter on some columns, then it will give us like delegation warning, only limited data it will give for us. Those are things which we have discussed. If whereas for model driven, you won't face such issues, because that application is majorly on data, right? Whatever the, even if you want to edit 100 of records at once, you can do it by default. Export and some functionalities by default it is going to be there. Whereas for a canvas application, we need to develop them one by one. It is like a plain canvas. There, whatever we want, we are painting it. But model driven, it's not like that.
And multi-database utilization, there is a dependency on that also. Means in
Okay. One more thing is like canvas application. Whatever the data source which we want, we can use it. Like even if you are SQL on top of that one, we want to develop canvas application, we can. SharePoint, we can. Even Oracle, anything, whatever the database, we can develop it.
in the
But
same application,
hmm,
I have means different databases. One window for the SharePoint, one window.
can you speak it a little more now, loud?
Okay. So I am okay. So in the Canvas application, one screen we are using for the connect with the SharePoint, and one
Hmm.
screen we are using for the displaying the Power BI represent. So
Hmm.
in that case, we can use multiple databases on the Canvas.
Yeah, you can. Multiple databases, you can use it. Like in one screen, I want to get data from the SharePoint. In one screen, I want to get databases from the Dataverse. In one screen, I want to get it from the SQL. Like whatever connections you want, you can add it. It's not an
So
issue.
can we implement the model driven also?
Model driven, no. Only with the
Only
Dataverse, we
single
can
database.
work on it. Only with Dataverse. No other data source you can access there. Only Dataverse.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, yes. Got
Yeah, in depth, what we are going to do in the database, sorry, in model driven application, everything we can discuss while we are discussing on Dataverse and model driven application. Okay. Hmm. Okay, that's it. Then, okay, let's disconnect. Bye, guys.
it. Thank